The Lake Don Pedro Community Services District, LDP-CSD, has repeatedly emphasized the importance of public transparency for our agency. Even this particular agenda packet references an attempt to obtain the California Special District Association, or CSDA, recognition for such accomplishment. However, for 36 years, clear mandatory operational regulations per Water License 11395, held by the Merced Irrigation District, under which the LDP-CSD pumps Merced River water from Lake McClure, have intentionally been concealed from our scattered 3,100 plus member customer base. I formally request the district, in evidence of good faith of this commitment to public transparency, post on its website the official Merced Irrigation District Place of Use map illustrating where Merced River water can legally be diverted and used according to the restrictions in 11395. That same map, or a copy, should be augmented to identify all properties within the district water service area which are subject to groundwater substitution in order to provide water service outside the Merced Irrigation District Place of Use per 11395. 35 years of intentional customer deception and concealment of these priority operational regulations has only created decades of turmoil and hampered district progress. Honest disclosure should be the priority now. And I've individually addressed copies to each director, GM Campa, and the board secretary. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Comments? None? Okay. We'll move on.
Oh, wait.
Yes, sir.
We get two shots at the apple? The other thing was, many months ago, one of our meetings, this will be real quick. GM Camp advised he was going to take the oath of office for our district as he had for Los Osos, and I was wondering, has that been done and are the certificates available?
Sorry, no.
You haven't taken it?
No. No, it was...
I thought it was something you said you had intended to do.
I did.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. That presiding officer's report, I have nothing to report at this point in time, so I'll move directly on to the general manager's report with Mr. Campa.
There were a couple of handouts today. One is related to a later agenda item. That is the outline. It says maintenance plan overview at the top. So that is not the topic of discussion right now. Right now we have, I had intended to get out a written report to you to summarize a couple of documents that were included with the packet that were going to be in my written report, but unfortunately, again, you know, when we've got a packed agenda, sometimes it's difficult to get all of the written documentation together. And again, these are reports. These can be you can ask for amendments or clarification over time, more information. Many of the things that are in the report lead to actions in the future, but there's no action specifically related to any item in the report. And so some of this is just clarifying things that we've gone through for quite a while. The first item, though, that was submitted in your packet was a company, third-party company that's working with AT&T to try to increase broadband internet in the area. And they have asked to engage us in discussions and have a conversation with them about the potential for service. And so that was, I just wanted to include that in the packet. There's basically, they came out and looked at a site, took a few pictures and walked away. They're looking at a number of locations. And again, this is for, it's a cellular, it's an antenna that could house cellular equipment as well, but it's an AT&T facility that they're talking about. So no commitment of locations, no discussion of costs, no commitment of anything other than just letting you know that that there's some interest out there in this type of activity.
Can we discuss it?
So let me, if you don't mind, let me just finish the report. If there's, and sometimes I bring this stuff up because if there's interest in having a good, robust discussion, this is a good time to say, hey, let's put this on a future agenda. You know, to have a full-on discussion. There wasn't a heck of a lot to report at this point, but
I'm looking for a little discussion that could lead to a bigger one. That's all. So whatever.
I think if you have a question about what he's reporting, but not a long, lengthy one, I think if you want to ask him a question.
A little bit more.
Okay,
Do it?
good.
This is very comparable to what we're doing with Conifer at this point. So in other words, they're looking for a place to put a transmitting and receiving facility tower on our facility, only with a bigger tower that could house cellular equipment in the future. Is that right?
right.
It's been my intent to bring up before the board and the public in the future the potential of doing a WISP, which is a wireless internet service provider, the district doing it. This is what Conifer does and potentially what these folks are doing. But the goal is that our homeowners can probably expect $5,000 increase in property value if we were world-class connected. In other words, if you could download a high-def movie at home reliably and cost-effectively. I mean, that takes 7 megabytes up and down, down, maybe way less going up. But the bottom line is that could be done cost-effectively and actually save our people money over a commercial one that's for profit. And I wanted to look at that after we had the drought thing and our organization under control. Didn't want to go there now, but this brings up the fact that it needs to be discussed, I believe, as a benefit for the district. We can do this as a special district.
Can
We can.
Well, let's before we make statements of can and who and how far and all that, or get any head nods or consensus of the board that it's not an action item on the agenda. So limited direction. I think, it's worthy, if we've got more comments about it, it's worthy to have it as an agenda item. Okay, the next item is related to addressing a topic that has been come up over and over again, and it's not, this document that was put together as a draft is not intended to be an end-all. It's not intended to state why or why not related to our facilities. It's not intended to influence any county policies or any of their interpretation or anything else. It really is just stating an anomaly in the laws of the state of California, because the state drinking water division does not look at fire hydrants as a water system appurtenance. They look at fire hydrants as a firefighting piece of equipment, so much so that they don't fund it in their normal programs. You have to fund it under another source of funds, match funds or whatever. But yet there's no one else in the community that's going to have a water system for fighting fires. So when we take into consideration our pump sizes, our main sizes, our everything we do, our intake sizes, we think about providing water for fire protection. So that's the purpose of this. If we want to a discussion specifically about this, this may be a topic for that type of further discussion too at another meeting. But I just, ultimately, this document it's an internal resource is really all it is. It just goes into our library and on our website and things that we provide to customers.
I would like to discuss it in the future and talk to you about it.
Yeah, I agree with Henry. I'd like to have this as an agenda item because I think there's enough concern that has been belabored here numerous times in these meetings, and we need to come up with, I'll say, a public communication on what is the role of the CSD in this aspect. One consistent message. So if you want to have that on the agenda for September as well, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, so hopefully you found some of that helpful.
Yes.
Yes.
It did take
Some work.
it took a little bit of work to try to describe it out and get to. I knew that some of the immunities existed, and I knew that there's a real misunderstanding of a dangerous and defective condition of public property. So anyway, the other items that I spent the majority of my time on are in this agenda packet. The maintenance plan being one of them that's going to take some more discussion with the board. And you have a leak report in front of you that shows a reduction in leakage, not a huge amount. I can't really explain it all the way yet. And it may be that we're not getting, when we have a tank overflow or some other issue, we're not getting all of the lost water. There's a center column in here that is wherever there's water that doesn't go to consumptive use or doesn't go out a place that we know, we're supposed to estimate it here so that we can see what's really lost and we can't find it. And we can probably get better at documenting some of those things, but it's really hard to, when you find a leak, you don't know how long it's been going, especially during the summer. So we're trying to perfect that a little bit because I really, especially when we get done with the service line replacement project, we're going to want to know whether we keep going on it because this grant money is not enough to do the whole thing. So it looks like we're going down.
Can you explain this just a little bit? Because I'm looking for percentage leaks and how you might compare them to previous months.
The one at the very bottom, system loss percentage, 17%. It goes into that graph. There's an ongoing graph, but it's on that very bottom line. If you look at the yellow at the bottom, real and apparent water loss, 3,585 CCF units, which equates to 8.23 acre feet. Those dates are wrong, 6/28. It's not automatic. That's part of the problem is I've got to update this spreadsheet so that it ties to the sheet. It's correct. Yes, through the month of July. I'm sorry, it's just 7/28 seemed a little early, but I forgot we had to read the meters early because of the weekend. So it's for the month of July, and it's 17% loss. When you take into consideration the difference in the tank levels, the readings from intake, the amount of effluent that's put out of the amount of effluent that's put out of the